Well, if you're anything like me and you can't get enough Kingdom, whether it's the original or the 75 other variations, DLCs, expansions that have been released of Kingdom since, you're in for a treat because today we're checking out a little banger by the name of Phoenix Hope. Now, Phoenix Hope is very much a game that wears the inspiration on its sleeve. You'll soon see once we get into the game here how much that is. However, it does enough to really evolve the gameplay of Kingdom quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I would say this is kind of like somewhere between Kingdom and games such as Grim Knights and Life is Hard. But let's get into it here and check it out. This kingdom is ravaged by war. Countless cities of a once prosperous country have been destroyed by the ruthless armies of the ancient god. The survivors, like sheep without a shepherd, scattered across the devastated lands. For 3 days now, I've been wandering without purpose, and I think I see a demon ahead of me. This is my debt. Well, hopefully you read the rest of that yourselves. But, spoilers, it's not going to be his debt. So, one of the things that I did love about this right off the bat was the pixel art style. If there's one thing I would like any game to keep from Kingdom, is always the awesome pixel art. And we have a very nice one right here. We are going to be starting off here by building ourselves a lumberjack. I'm going to place that lumberjack right over here. And we're going to have a couple of workers here. These dudes you're seeing here with, I would say, the greenish type of shirts right now. They're freed up individuals. They got nothing to their name. We shall give them some jobs here pretty soon. But these will be the peons, essentially. If you remember in Kingdom, you got the guys that you recruit. These guys will show up over time depending on how well you are doing. Now, in Kingdom, essentially, you expand freely to your heart's content for the most part, right? Here you might be seeing this, which is very intriguing, and you'll be seeing this. This is essentially, it's like living in a dome, really. But what this actually lets you do, or gives you an idea, is the portals. You know the portals from Kingdom that spawned the little greed or whatever they're called? Well, here in this game, they don't have a set place. If we scroll over here, as you can see, you don't see any, right? Same thing for the left-hand side. At nighttime, when these portals show up, they show up randomly. Anywhere that's not within your safety dome. And right now we have a couple of, this will be our first spearmen that'll protect us for the most part. They're capable of hitting the greed from the other side of the walls, which is good because, you know, they have spears. That's what they do. Now it's going to ask us to assign a couple of lumberjacks here. So you will make yourselves over there for now. Let's go ahead to the lumberjack. And as I mentioned, those green shirts are about to be turned into proper worksmen for us. We could get 2 per. We can also upgrade the buildings eventually, but for now we're fine. And then at nighttime, I like this feature so much. Hey, go to the fire. And in case you're feeling a little bit saucy, you could ask them not to go to the bonfire where they'll be safe and just work through the night. So it lets you choose whether, you know, like in Kingdom, one of the things is you always have those builders at nighttime and then, like, you know, they're still working pretty far ahead and you're thinking to yourself, oh god, they're gonna get attacked, and you gotta sit by them and throw coins so they don't get attacked. Here you get to choose whether you're staying out here because I know we can be safe, or hightail it back home. Upgrade our tent to a stronghold. One of my boys have started working on that, and after we do that, we'll get a couple of extra workers. Right now we could have gotten 2. Now we have our lumberjacks over here cutting down trees. They're also going to be useful for clearing out this right here, the rubbish, which will increase our expansion outwards a bit. Obviously right now we cannot pass by until a lumberjack takes care of all this brush. Same with the left-hand side. Now here we have a mine. This is where it's going to get very saucy because this is where it expands quite a bit. As you can see, we could go down underground because this game will have an underground to it. So this is where the big deviation from Kingdom comes into play. Let's see, how many free workers do we got? We got 4. Make some of these boys workers. Make 3 of them workers. We'll hold on to an extra one just to chill for a bit. And let's consider putting up those walls for, you know, nighttime. Now, if you're thinking, well, is this it? This is all you get to build? Well, no. Once we start keeping the greed away every single night, and we start bringing a good supply of food in, which right now we're at 30. We are going through 8 food per day. I believe that's tied to how many people you got in your colony, right? So right now we got 8, so we're going through 8 food per night. But once you have a really good extra amount of food, and you start straying off the greed every single night, your hope barrier will expand. One of the things that I kind of would always kind of be a little bit salty about Kingdom is that whenever you would hire like a knight or an archer, and they would just go either left or right on their own, and it'd be sometimes a little bit kind of, I think eventually they added systems in place to make it so that you had more control as to whether they went left or right. But here, right off the bat, you could choose how many units and where you want them stationed. So for instance, over here at number 1, we are going to go ahead and put 1 spearman on that wall. And then we're going to make squad number 2. In squad number 2, we'll put our 2nd spearman. And then once we get archers and knights, which we do have 1 knight, but he's not going to be used right now. With this done, we must survive the night. The next thing we want to do is the mine. We're going to repair that with 50 wood, which we do have. I'll set that up for repair. And theoretically speaking, our worker will work in the night for that because that's there. Now, we do have a couple of trees here. I'm wondering if, oh no, they're gonna chill there. They're like, it's fine. You know what? I'm just not gonna work. So you might as well just go to the bonfire, my boys. Now, let's see if we could, here are some of the quote-unquote green. I mean, we'll call them green, man. At this point, does that portal look familiar? Little tentacles coming out of it? It should. As I've mentioned, it's not shy about hiding its inspiration. Anything on the right-hand side? No. One thing that I've noticed between this and Kingdom, though, is that this ramps up the difficulty really quickly. I mean, you're seeing one portal over there, so you're thinking, oh, that's going to be it. Another portal. And these portals could chill here for a bit. Then they'll disappear. And then they could pop up over here. And they could disappear and pop up back over there. It's very random. So, whereas in Kingdom, it kind of gives you a chance. Like, the first night you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get attacked only on one side. Which one is it going to be? Oh, left? Okay, cool. Here, it does kind of speed up the difficulty quite a bit. Now, we could also set up a couple of spike barriers up front, which will hurt the greed before they get to you. It's something that we'll probably consider here soon. Mine is indeed ready to go. Do we have 2 free workers? Yes, we do. So my 2 free workers, thankfully I didn't go overboard with the workers here. Or the peons anyway, or the peasants. We can now turn them into miners. And they're going to start working underground. What I don't like is that at nighttime they don't work underground. It's kind of like, you're underground. I mean, for the most part, I imagine. I really haven't played too far to know what's happening down here. But I imagine it's fairly safe down here from greed, but maybe it's not. Maybe the further down you get, you start discovering even worse things out there. How's my wall looking? Slightly damaged. What I like is that my worker's still here, working the wall, so we should be fine. And over here, sounding as when we're almost done with our nighttime. And these are my boys just hanging out. Once you guys are ready to actually, want to work. Look at them standing. Like, I felt there for a second. I was like, you're actually going to work for once? One of you dig to the right, the other one to the left. Perfect. Now, everything why don't you have both of them go to one side? Again, as I've mentioned, it seems to be 1 person per job is what I've noticed thus far. That's we're still being attacked. That's the big thing here. So, and this over here, the underground digging takes a while to get through. I mean, it is underground digging, so I imagine, it's going to be fairly difficult, but it feels that way in time. One thing that I would like with this type of system is maybe a speed up option, like let me get a 2 speed in there, a 3 speed, just to make things like this, a bit more faster for people with not so much time, such as myself and a lot of you out there, I imagine, but still. I would like that feature at some point. It's early access, so it's something they could probably add. Assuming they don't feel it breaks the game, who knows. I think we have 40 stone now, which is perfect. Let's now build our smithy, which I have probably more than likely lost already again. Smithy, there it is. Smitty, we got room for you right here, and that's gonna be about it. I hope I have enough room for the farm afterwards, but for now, Smitty, right there, worker, get to that. I just love the look of the game. The lumberjacks over there just running about, cutting down the trees. Really, really awesome. Halfway through our day over here, as you can see, they're still clanging and banging away. It is going to take a while before, as I mentioned, that's going to go down. I think we just got this guy, just showed up to the village. It's like, yeah, I hear you got a good thing happening here. We got a freed up dude now, huh? Freed up dude, you stay up free for a while. I could always remove workers, I guess. Whatever. We'll put him as a worker, and then whenever we don't need him anymore, we'll remove him as a worker. And let's see. I don't think, as I've mentioned, we have enough yet for it, because we still not only got to build the smithy, but then we have to make the tools for farming. But assuming I wanted to make the farm right now, 30 and 30. So we still need a bit more stone for that. And do I have enough room? I'm not sure if it's red because it doesn't fit or just because we don't have enough stone for it. Okay, so in the interest of showing you guys a bit more, as I mentioned early on, because of the lack of a speed up feature, things take a while, as I've mentioned. So what I did here is I jumped to my off-camera save, the one where I kind of practice a little bit of the game, where I'm a bit ahead of what we were doing right now in the vid. But as you can see over here, I've dug quite a bit, and I've also have 2 blacksmiths over there working about. How many freed up people do we got? We got 1 freed up individual. And I have my farm, as you can see, outside of the safe zone. I could do that. However, keep in mind that if a portal was to spawn here, or here, or here, or here, whatever, they're going to destroy that ass. Same thing with this here, which is my barracks to get more spearmen. Now, I did that just before when I was testing, so this is something I would obviously not recommend. If, you're playing the game legitimately to try to survive. As a matter of fact, I would like to see... We're being attacked on the left-hand side. We still only got 1 spearman. Do I got my little spikes out there? I do not. Let's put up a little bit of a spike here if we can. That from right there. Well, as a matter of fact, I think I already had a spike, but it needs to be repaired. So, one of you guys build, the other one repair. You might want to do that relatively quick. Here we do have a spear, but we'll repair that as well. Let's go off to the left-hand side. And because this is day 4, have we spotted any new enemies? No. But hey, we got literally 2 portals spawning in one side of the map there. So that could be a bit more problematic for my boys. Have you got those spikes up and running? Yes. Now you see how they ran through them? They actually, took some damage there and the spikes broke. Now, the one problem is that my dudes are going to try to fix the wall, not the spikes. So that's smart. Don't go out there to fix the spikes. Those spikes are just there for a one-time damage thing, and then we're good. Over here, the portals are gone, and it does seem they have now popped up from the right-hand side. These barracks are going to get wrecked, because that's what they go for. They actually will attack anything out here. It's not like in Kingdom, where I believe in Kingdom they won't attack structure such as like farms. They will always try to hit the center and they will go through walls and walls and walls. They won't destroy stuff. Here they actually will stop. At least they did that with my farm. See, they're attacking that now. So theoretically speaking, had I enough time, I could have probably maybe moved the wall here before nighttime landed and maybe give a chance to protect this, but we didn't have time, so it is what it is. Again, this is only my test files, so I wanted to see how the mechanics work. That's the reason why I jumped over to it. Not something I would recommend yourselves to do. And right there, you probably saw a visual representation of how much that actually increased just now for surviving. So, there is that. As I mentioned, we're not going to go ahead and fix those barracks up. You're still mining away, you're still mining away. And again, we could even go further. I'm not sure how far you could go, but I mean, going by just by how much I'm scrolling down here, who knows? It seems you could go fairly down. And the problem is that this here isn't it. If you're thinking, well, okay, so eventually you push out the map and I guess you'll stop there because it stops, right? I mean, what's the end point? You're probably asking me. Another dude coming up to join. Very good. What's the end goal? Well, if we actually hit, is it M? Yes. We're here, Phoenix Nest, as we're starting off. As you can see, we're going to be able to explore all of this. Smoldering Vertex, the Ordberg, Nophis, the Great Desert of Terra. So, quite a bit of visual different looks. The Titan Peaks. Oh, did we finally find something in the mines that I had to... Okay. I finally got a new goal. No. Keep exploring the mines. Well, I had explored the mines, and I guess we found what I wanted me to explore, but now it's telling me to keep exploring the mines after we found... this. Well, I mean, I could continue digging through that site, but I'm curious about this. It's obviously a skeleton there and what seems to... I don't know what that is, man. Could I zoom in a bit more? No, that's as far as we could go. Don't know what that is. I can walk by it though, obviously, but I can't seem to interact with it, which is the weird part. So I don't know, maybe we could find more stuff there, leading to some sort of little civilization, who knows? Oh, wait a second. Scientist lab. One of your people remembered the ruins of the greatest laboratory of scientists in the kingdom. Maybe you can build one just like that. Open the possibility to build a scientist lab. I think we could send people on expeditions if I remember correctly. Barn. You found a barn full of grain. Ooh. I'm not sure if this happened just now because I wasn't aware these icons were here when I showed you guys the map the first time around. Or this popped up just because of what I did with the mine exploration just now. Alright, you know what? Let's try this out. Let's click on Scientist Lab. Oh, we need a settler, which is another thing that we have to build. So the settler accompanies your people on these voyages, if I'm correct. Or not add a settler, but we essentially have to turn one of our peasants into a scout. But that also does require, I believe, the scout something, if I'm correct. It should be somewhere around. Scout's hideout. Trained scouts can discover new points on the map and accompany settlers on missions. How big is this scout's hideout? It's actually fairly small that I could build it, actually. Yeah, all right. You know what? We can still give this a shot then. We're going to send them out. I'm curious about that. I mean, this is essentially the save that I mentioned that I've done off camera. So I haven't obviously proceeded beyond this point. So everything at this point now is indeed foreign to me. The scout thing is ready to go. We should have one extra peasant freed up. So let's go ahead and assign him right there. And once we have that scout, we'll try this mission out. Even though it's going to be nighttime, but hey, so be it. We got to wait for that to fill up first. He's apparently training away to be a proper scout. Push upward, boys. Slightly damaged. I mean, luckily these guys are weak. I mean, for now at least we're fine, but remember, it's only one portal. There's going to be more portals through the night, and we could easily have one pop up behind us, and then we're completely screwed. Luckily for us, the next one's to the left-hand side, so that's, ooh, really close to us as a matter of fact. I mean, surprise, surprise, we're actually holding this off. I mean, we've been lucky that the portals haven't spawned anywhere behind this, but it seems like we're fine. Meanwhile, you guys are doing this. I know you're defending the village and everything. Let me see if now I can send somebody out to the scientist area. That? Add a settler. Settler must be free from work before being sent. We do have that. And we got 15 food. Yeah, we got 121. So go ahead and give it the entire stack right there. This will increase our chances. So apparently 50% chance. I'm sure that's 2 to 8 days or like 2.8 days or something. Whatever. Send them off. Now, do we see you guys leave the colony? I'm curious. Or do you just, warp away? Apparently warp away. We survived the night. How about that? Yeah, I guess he is apparently warp away. One of my scouts is still there. We have 2 of them now, it does seem. So, unlike the workers where, if you click on the stronghold, it tells you have 3 or 4. This will never tell you if you actually have them. It always goes back to 0 after you recruit them for some reason. Which would be nice if it actually kept it so you knew how many there were. I mean, you could always bring up the list this way. But still. So now I have 2 of them, because I did click scout the first time. And then the second time, it just gave us a second one. But again, I could always dismiss them if I want to. There is that option, but make them back into a regular worker. But, still be it. So we're going to wait over there. We're going to wait over there. All right, very good. Excellent. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. I felt that within the startup video, or at least the startup save, and the one that I jumped to just now, which is my test one, showed you quite a bit, especially with the expedition part of this game. As I mentioned, I'm digging it already. It is early access. I'm excited to see what it does as it progresses, but definitely inspired. No lies about that, but also quite a bit of uniqueness to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time.